Testing, testing.
Sugar everywhere. So we pulling up the garage part, and your kids are going to see. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be beautiful. And so we're going to make sure that we feed them. We're going to have a wonderful time. Shane, that's you. Girl, I like your hair. Looking all poetic justice. Huh? I am so honored. I hope you guys had a wonderful day. We are going to speak very quickly, and then I'm going to get off of here because I've been called to. I'll be here. I'm not going to be leaving. I'm going to leave, I think, Tuesday or Wednesday. But I was called to go to Memphis. Channel 2 wants to interview me. And I think it's funny because whenever somebody talks negatively about you, God will elevate you like that. So that's why we don't worry about that, right? We don't worry about that. And so I thank God for what he is doing in our lives because everybody got somebody talking about him right now. Not right now. Go with me to the book of Second Kings. Yeah, right? Second Kings 9. And I want us to have a conversation or converse. And this is going to be, this topic is going to be, it's going to be kind of deep, Petra. It's going to be kind of deep. Who's here for the first time? Hey! How y'all doing? Hey, baby. Hey. How y'all doing? Y'all live here in North Carolina? Yeah. Spartanburg. You live in Spartanburg? Okay, will you come on? You got a church home? Shh. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. Don't say nothing. We live. Your pastor don't know the back of your head, does he? Okay. Oh, is it? Oh, don't say that though. Is somebody I know? I'm trust me, I do. If I don't, they know me. You best believe that. Um, so I want to this Bible study is going to be very interactive. And I'm going to tie it into present time. And I'm going to do this because I'm getting ready to dispel a lot of rumors concerning us women. I'm going to dispel a lot of things that we begin to talk about this week concerning women. And even though it's a women's movement, and I say I honor my brothers, I honor men so much, I happen to love one myself. And even though there are ups and downs in marriages, in relationships, I'm going to tie who we are as women and coil it around what men think of us today. So it's going to be hot up in here. And we're going to have a conversation. And I want y'all to get very honest with yourself. Facebook land. Yo, side note, did y'all see Michelle catch that mic on Sunday? Yo, what? I got to give my girl props for that. I was like, yo, for real, Michelle? I did that over in Africa, and they was like, why you do that for? And I said, I'm sorry, that's just my thing. Okay, don't do it again. So, we're going to talk about Jezebel. Now, and so we're going to have a conversation, a converse about Jezebel. Don't laugh. I joke, I kid. Remember, inside, I'm a comedian. If it ever goes wrong, I'm going on the road with Kevin Hart. Roberta, they gonna say it anyway. I am what you considered a Jezebel. Because I got red lipstick on purposely and red shoes on purposely. Huh? They bad too. Let me tell you something. Many a day I have been called Jezebel, even yesterday. Even yesterday. You remember growing up in certain churches, even today, right? You could not come inside of a church made up. So let's talk. What is Jezebel? Okay. Okay. Huh? What else? Conniving, deceptive. What is she? Backstab. Okay. Keep. She's attractive. Yeah, she's attractive. What else? Now, see all of those things that you guys said. At some point in time, haven't you heard those things about yourself? Wouldn't you say that? So, how do we differentiate what really she is? The spirit of Jezebel. You've heard that, right? Okay. The spirit of Jezebel. The spirit of Jezebel seems like it's growing kind of rampant today. Okay. Watch this. Narcissistic personality disorder. Did you know that is a trait? Who is more narcissistic, women or men? Okay, we torn here. Raise your hand if you think a narcissistic personality disorder is more manly. Okay. More women. Okay. All right. All right. Lou back there like that personality is deemed to be more Jezebel. But you see it more men. Mhm. Something happened. And that's why you have the spirit of Jezebel so present now than anything. People want to get on Beyonce. I ain't judging nobody. I give it to her. The girl bad. I like it or not, y'all call her what she will. I like Beyonce. I like her. One of the favorite songs. If you like it, then you should have put a ring on it. That's my favorite song. I can sing it because I got a ring. Right? We run the world. We run the world. I wish I could. We run the world. I'm going to get slack for it. I know I am. And so now it seems like the dynamics of women has shifted. What is it? Women's movement. So now it looks like, so they say, the spirit of Jezebel has run rampant in the earth and men are lost. Would you agree or not? Okay, talk to me. Okay, well, we're going to find out. They said, oh, it's going to get hot in here. This is going to be an interactive Bible study. 2 Kings 9. You there? 32. My beautiful, beautiful, beautiful Darnell. He looked up. Would you please?
He looked up at the window and called out, "Who is on my side? Who?" 2 or 3 eunuchs looked down at him. "Throw her down," Jehu said. So they threw her down, and some of her blood spattered the wall and the horses as they trampled her underfoot. Jehu went in and ate and drank. "Take care of that cursed woman," he said, "and bury her, for she was the king's daughter." But when they went out to bury her, they found nothing except her skull, her feet, and her hands. They went back and told Jehu, who said, "This is the word of the Lord that he spoke through his servant Elijah the Tishbite. On the plot of ground at Jezreel's dogs would devour Jezebel's flesh. Jezebel's body would be like like refused on the ground in the plot of Jezreel, so that no one will be able to say, this is Jezebel.
Now, did you guys know that she died? She really was murdered. The eunuchs pushed her out of the window. The most imperative things that you've got to understand about this spirit is when it was killed or when she was killed. What was left was her hands, her feet, and what else? As I began to study this, I said, why was that left? Y'all ain't gonna like me, but it's okay. It was left because everything that you use to manipulate or control a situation y'all saying, wow. See, her personality, she died like she lived. Her brain, hands, and feet. Everything that you use to control a thing was left behind, and it was defiled because the dogs ate it. Her husband. Let's talk about that. And I'm going to get real transparent. The baby agrees. Ahab. He was a husband. What did he do? He was weak. He was weak, and he allowed her to do whatever it is. He wanted the garden of his neighbor. Hebron, can't say his name. Y'all know I'm dyslexic. And he said, I want that garden. And the neighbor said, I'm ad-libbing here because I like to make things simple for people. You can't have it. The Bible said he went into a depression. And listen, he was a king. She ruled over him. See, y'all think that this message is really about us, but it really is not going to be, because I'm going to surprise the heck out of all of us. She ruled, told them what God they was going to serve. What do you mean that you depressed because you can't have? And you know what she did? She started a rumor. She lied and said he's committing heresy. Stone him and kill him. Kill the man and said, now get up here with all that crying and go get what you were supposed to have. That's how controlling she is. Most marriages are not working because we're too controlling. Y'all not going to like me. Somewhere there's a man in Facebook land saying, yes. I had to learn that in my own marriage. That I had to soften just a little bit. Now, let's say this. He was so weak until she said, never mind Yahweh, never mind God. You're going to serve Baal. And she manipulated everybody that she came in contact. And Elisha said, no, we're going to show who God is God. She terrorized the prophets, killed them all to simply have her way. Most women in here have agreed that there was just a little bit of Jezebel in all of us at some point in time. Let's be honest. Is it fair to say that we have taken the dynamic to lead because they're not men in our homes? Okay, they saying yes. Is it fair to say that sometimes it's hard to allow somebody to lead because they're not providing in the house? God, you may have to cut. Y'all may not get this tonight, y'all. Y'all may not get this tonight. I told you it's going to go deep. She said, we already there. I told you this is going to be an interesting Bible study because we're going to learn a lot about both sides of the fence. Why is it that Abigail, two women, two different personalities, Abigail saved her house. Jezebel ruined hers. A wise woman builds up her house, but a foolish one does what? Most of us have to be honest and ask ourselves, how are we building our houses and our relationships? Is God pleased? We've got to examine ourselves, and it's okay. I'm not calling anybody Jezebel. I'm not doing that. Don't get it twisted. But we've got to examine ourselves and say, God, if these are any traits of this personality in me, I need you to gut it out. There's nothing wrong with saying that. I remember having a conversation with this young man, and he said he used to stay in the garage. And he never wanted to go inside his home because of his wife. He called me up. He said, I need you to pray because I'm feeling sick. And I said, I almost said his name. I'm just going to say R. R, why are you sick? He said, I just regurgitated. He said, because I'm so miserable with this woman until I can't even bear to look at her. And he just cried. See, a lot of times we get on the men, but we're going to check the women today. I want you better. I want him to come home at night. And the reason why I can talk about this is because, truth be told, mine is bad. I had to do something to woo him, and he had to do something to woo me. See, we're going to get real tonight. Yeah, yeah. Most single women want to be married. How many single women we got in the house? Okay. She's like, thank God. She just got out of something last week. Ask yourself, Lord, search me. Search me, Lord. Create in me a clean heart and renew in me around. I had to learn how to soften. I had to learn to soften. Most men, I get it. You got a whole man, a half a man, 3/4 of a man. We've got to ask ourselves, what are we throwing out as women? Are we controlling? Is it just a little too much of this going on? And is it too much of that going on? Because, you know, we got to say, okay, we know that there's a problem, but we got to examine ourselves. God, deal with me first. I don't want Jezebel present in any way, shape, or form. And even though for some, not all, for some, not all, you may deal with somebody and he may not be this strong, but it's a dynamic of women that's so strong until he doesn't know his place. Why do y'all say, wow? I'm guilty. See, I'm the first one to throw myself under the bus because I'm free. I had to stop. Let me tell you something, Calvin. And he go, I promise you, we ain't never had no domestic violence, not like that. It's just, I'm going to tell you what you. And I had to say, God, search me. Search me, God. Joyce Meyer said something that blew my mind. God bless that chick. She said, I grew up in such a home of domestic violence until I did not know how to receive love. And most men are dealing with women that deal with so much stuff until he don't know how to deal with you. And 9 times out of 10, you don't know how to deal with him. But I had to say, God, let me study the attributes of this woman. Because if I am controlling, if I'm dominating, if I'm doing anything that is not like you say, I need you to fix it. Because I've got to create an atmosphere, not just for Calvin to come home to, that you're pleased that I'm building my house. Divorce is on an all-time high. We ain't saying nothing. Watch this. How many been divorced before? Michelle is, and she holding up 2 fingers. How many are married? How many want to get married? Marriage is like flies on a screen door. Some want to get in and some want to get out. Everyone always talks about the man, the man, the man, the man. What about y'all? Y'all. Y'all. That's country for you all. Right, Stephanetta? Ask yourself, God, this woman was so controlling until she took her husband's manhood. But technically speaking, he kind of gave it up. Because he was a king and he was a ruler and he allowed. The word of God said that the wife sanctifies the husband. How does she do that? Talk back. But I've been praying. It's still not happening. Okay. Say that again.
Allowing him to, what did I say? He's subject to him in their marriage, being subject to him.
Okay. Okay. Let's break it down. Let's go deep. Okay. Okay. See, she cringed. She was like, no, that's good. That's good. That's fine. It's okay. It's all right. It's okay. Submission is a bad word today. Okay. Okay. Yeah. See, this is interactive Bible study now. Say what you say. Now, y'all know I got these shoes on. I'm going to work, but go ahead.
They made it that way. Because I can just say for myself, I submitted to someone that didn't know how to lead me.
All right. Now, see, we going deep. It's about to get good. Question. Was that Jezebel's problem? Okay, but you just heard Ahab was her husband. And he was a king. And he was weak. So what happened was, that's okay. You can cry. Ain't nobody gonna judge you. Let it, cause I know when I pick up a mic, a yoke gonna break. That's why we here. Go and cry. It's fine. You're gonna cry with faith. And if you want to come home, let them. Won't be the same, I promise you. It won't be the same, I promise you. Mhm. He's out there and God is working. Marriage is hard. And most of the time, y'all don't like it. Sometimes we run them away. We run them away. We got to be accountable, women. And I say it with love. I had to learn to let the God of peace rule my home. And open up the windows and tell Jezebel, you can't stay in my house. And I'm going to learn how to love even though my father did not love me. And I'm going to trust God that he going to make every crooked path straight in my marriage. And most of us want to be wed, but we ain't ready. Most of us ain't free from that last joker. You bring him in your relationships. You bring him in your house. You start telling your husband what he ain't doing. And I know there's a lot of things that I want my husband to do, but honey, I'm going to be there and I'm going to be faithful and wait and watch God do it. But I had to learn to build my house. When you ask God to work on your husband and you ask God to sanctify him, he will. And if you want to see a turnaround in your marriage, do yourself a favor and trust God. I'm not talking about the women that are suffering a blow to the face. This is not your story. I'm not talking about the woman that is dealing with one mistress after another mistress. I'm talking about y'all are just having difficult times right now. Watch God. See, the reason why I'm so transparent with my marriage is because I'm going to show you how God works. And if two people desire to make it, God will intervene. But y'all got to do the work, and I had to do the work. I had to say, listen here, Jezzy. Don't you dare think you're going to rule my house. I'm anointed. I hear God. I have 7 gifts of the Spirit, and I don't want to be disrespectful to my husband. Let's be real. Yeah, I'm a woman called to the nations. I got everything and everybody at my beck and call. I'm a servant, but I'm here to serve my husband. So sometimes I'm not going to pick up my phone, and sometimes you could text me, call me, FaceTime me. I got to give my husband some time and say, y'all may not understand, and if you do, good, but I got to fix some stuff, and I got to tell Jezebel, you think you coming in here? No, have several seats. We got to examine ourselves, ladies. Ain't nothing wrong with that. That's my first ministry. You're going to have things wrong in your marriage, Dawn, you know, right, Dawn? Yeah, Dawn, my girl, yeah. Sometimes you got to say, God, I'm going to bring them back. And I'm going to trust you. Let me do something different. Oh, I wish I had the time to tell y'all that if you write some stuff down, you'll be shocked. Don't call your mama-in-law no more. Don't call her. Leave her alone. Leave her out of this. Leave her out. We've got to examine ourselves, ladies. We run the world. but you can rule your house if you allow God to show you exactly what type of wife. Ask yourself, did you ask God what type of wife you want me to be? I don't want to be like my mother. Excuse me. You are nothing like your mother. Absolutely nothing like her. And sometimes you find, really, you found yourself in a relationship just like hers. But I declare and decree that everything contrary to a healthy relationship, that the next time your doorbell rings, you won't even let them in. That this time no is going to be no. And that you will sever every soul ties. No space or time shall dwell with the two of you any longer. There is such a mental abuse over you right now. It's a mental torment. And I release your mind that it's okay. No longer forcing something. But God give her the ability to wipe the dust from your feet and move on. And really move on. Most single women want a husband, but you can't have one because you already occupied. You already occupied. You are already occupied. So there's no space for him. What you going to do, ask God for him so you can compare him to the man that you still tied to? Yeah. What you going to ask God for a husband for? I'm going to give you hard truth. You're not ready to wed. But once God guts you like a fish, come here, Michelle. I want every woman to stand. every soul tie, everything you cannot let go, every individual from your past that is occupying your spirit as a woman, you are a receiver. Begin to tell God about it. I don't need to know. Shinamasa. See what Jezebel does, she controls the thing. Every spirit of Jezebel, I need a detection. Begin to tell God about it. Begin to tell God about it. This is where we say goodbye. You done had your last thought, your last conversation, your last intimate moment. Everything that is occupying your space that does not release you to be the woman of God, your flesh keep you right where you are. Every bad word, the loud boastfulness, everything contrary to you just being a lady. I even speak to the woman that's using her body. Yeah, you good. You doing Kegel right now. I break this demonic force. You using your body. Yeah, that's what Jezebel, she said, no, you ain't going to kill me. I'm going to use my body to get what I want. No, the eunuchs threw her out the window. Every seductive spirit, everything contrary to the move of God. Shit.
Yes, God.
Every curse that try to keep you. You shall be the women that God chose you to be. You shall be the wives that God called you to be. You shall be the women that God said you are. Examine yourselves, ladies, and say, God, what is it about me that you're not pleased with? Am I a good wife? Am I a good mother? You are. But we've got to examine ourselves, because Jezebel, she creeps up in daily and say, he ain't working. Disrespect him. Oh, I know. You use your bodies. You want to be a Proverbs 31 woman and don't even know what it is. The Bible says that he need not room for spoil. That means when you hold out, you put him in an opportunity, in an awkward position to cheat. Did you know that? Proverbs 31 woman, you want to be that? everything that be not of God as a woman, I want no parts of. I had to examine myself as a wife before I even considered reconciliation.